What is up, everyone? I'm Gregory LaPerche. Happy Valentine's Day. With me, I'm joined by special guest wearing the red, Johanna.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Um, so, yeah, a while ago we talked on Discord my Discord with a bunch of people about love languages, and I brought Joanna into that conversation because it seemed like something she would know about because of Enneagrams and just other things that she knows about, and she did know about it. So we are going to let her talk about Love Languages, the book, and
And just so everyone knows, I'm a little bit of a love language imposter here because I haven't actually read the book. I was introduced to this concept, though, in a previous relationship I was in. And the person who introduced it to me, he had me take a quiz to find out what my love language was. And so, what I understand of this book is that there are five different love languages. And so if we scroll down a little bit, Gary Chapman has a PhD. This is obviously used a lot in marriage counseling or relationship counseling. So there are so many copies of this sold worldwide, have been for a long time. But if you look here in the table of contents, you see here what happens to love after the wedding. In other words, of course, the honeymoon mode doesn't last forever. And so the idea is like how to make love last. And there are different quote unquote love languages. And the idea behind this is that a lot of times we have a concept in our minds of what it means to be loving. And maybe that's due to the way we were brought up or to just for whatever reason, the way that we want to be loved is the way usually we want to love other people. And so conflicts can happen when two people have different love languages and don't recognize when the other person is actually being loving. So, for example, first of all, the five different love languages, and then I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. So, there's words of affirmation, basically what it sounds like if you give somebody a very kind, encouraging comment, or if you tell them, "Hey, Gregory, you're such a good friend, and you're just a very funny person." That's like a word of affirmation. Quality time is just spending time with your partner, playing a video game, watching a movie, watching videos together, or any kind of activity you like doing together. That's quality time. Different people have different ideas of what that means, I guess. And I haven't read the chapter, so he might be very specific about what that means. Quality time versus, just passively doing something together. So maybe taking a walk together, uh, eating dinner together, and talking about your day. I imagine maybe that's what he means by quality time. I should probably qualify that. And then the third one, receiving gifts. That's pretty obvious. Just like Gregory's friend gave him a board one year. So gift giving is a wonderful way to show affection and love for somebody. I'm just gonna look at that
yeah,
board.
it was over here at one point. The block of wood.
A block of wood, that's what it
Yes.
was. Yeah, so gift giving, that's a pretty obvious one. So if we think about Valentine's Day, this holiday here, a lot of times you will give your significant other some flowers or a box of chocolates or a card. A card can have words of affirmation in it too. So and then you maybe go on a date. That's quality time together. And then the fourth one, this is one that's a lot less obvious sometimes, but that's acts of service. So if your significant other does something for you, maybe your significant other cooks a dinner for you, that's an act of service. It could be kind of a form of gift giving too. Or they wash the dishes for you, or they clean the house, or they take your car to get oil changed, or whatever. Those are acts of service. And then physical touch. So obviously, physical touch, I don't really need to say much about that, but
We got it. um,
in this day and age, maybe we don't get a lot of that because of physical, social distancing and all that. But hopefully, with your significant other, that's something that's happening. And the challenge can be though that some people they might have their love language might be gift giving. So it's Valentine's Day and they give their significant other a box of chocolates and tickets to a movie and a beautiful bouquet of flowers, and the significant other doesn't give them anything in return, like no gift giving. And so the person who gives the gifts might think, you don't love me,
Mm.
because you're not giving me gifts. And that's what you associate with love. But that significant other earlier that day took your car out and filled up the tires, maybe got an oil change. I don't know why I put everything with car with acts of service. you
Clearly,
know, um,
we know the way to Joanna's heart now.
it's through my car. um, so, what else can be an act of service? I don't know.
Yeah,
Uh,
just cleaning the house, like you said, or cooking dinner. Yeah,
Cooking
good,
dinner, yeah,
good things.
cleaning the house. And so, even though you might think, wow, that person doesn't love me, all those things they did for you, this exhaustive list of acts of service, was a way of showing you love, but maybe you missed it because it wasn't the way you show love. And so that's where conflicts can arise. And so learning what your partner's love language is can be a really good way to show that person love. So if you are a gift giver and you find out, oh, my partner doesn't really care about gifts. My partner really cares about words of affirmation. So I'm going to take some time to write my significant other a beautiful poem about how much I love them, that kind of thing. So you can respond to your significant other using what you know to be true about the significant other's love language, but also, I think the idea, from what I understand, and again, I'm kind of an imposter because I haven't read this book, but the idea that I've heard is that it's most ideal if we try to strive to demonstrate all five love languages. So don't feel content or don't get complacent that you give your partner flowers every Valentine's Day and think, I'm done. I did my checklist there. um, you might want to think about things like holding hands and, cleaning the house or uh, taking the dog out, whatever, giving a gift now and then, spending some quality time, asking them about their day, and telling them how important they are to you. So all of these love languages are important. And so Gregory thought it would be a really fun idea in the spirit of Valentine's Day and Booktube to talk about how these love languages can apply to the book community. So Gregory, I'll let you take it from here.
Sure, definitely. Yeah, and definitely people like to receive love in different ways too. And that applies to my to actual love languages and to my booktube theory of love languages of how people show appreciation and support for their favorite booktubers or just their book friends that they meet online and all of that.
I love how this is a theory.
Yes.
Knowing you have to be theory.
Yes, I should wear my tinfoil hat for this.
Yes.
But yes, so the most natural one is, of course, gift giving. There's definitely a lot of people who give gifts on BookTube, and obviously, usually they're books that people send to each other with Amazon wish lists or whatever. Um, so, yeah, I'm definitely not much of a gift giver at all. I don't
Yes,
really.
no.
Yes, I don't really
But you
give.
are quite sentimental about that board, right?
Yes, the board. Yes. Well, that's just because it made me laugh so hard that that was the gift I got. Um, but yes. What do you think about gifts? Have you done any gift exchanges and stuff?
Yes, so it's very interesting because when I first found out about love languages, I think just the concept of materialism and everything just didn't sound like something I wanted to associate with. And I remember thinking, I just wanting it so true to be in my head. I don't care about gifts. But then I started to think, like, realize, and I don't know if this affected the way I took the quiz the first time or not, But I did realize over time that gift giving actually is kind of important to me. I don't want it to be, but it kind of is. I think part of it might be it's definitely got to be my mother's love language and my sister's love language because they are so generous. And so they give so much. They will give gifts for like no reason. They will just give you a gift. And so I think because, I was raised by my mom, I did have an association with love and gift giving, mostly because of her. And I think it could be a really sweet thing, to consider somebody and pick something up at the store and give that gift to them. And I have realized, even as a kid, I used to love giving gifts to people. So I guess I do like gift giving, even though part of me kind of rebels against it a little bit,
Mm.
but but yeah, I do. I like gift giving. I'm
Ye-
not the best at it. In fact, I'm terrible at gift giving these days. These days, if I know there's a book that somebody wants, then it's easy. Then I'm happy
yes.
to do it. But otherwise, man, it's hard. I feel like gift giving is hard.
Yeah, it definitely can be tough because a lot of us just get the books that we want and read them, and but yeah, so the wish list thing is definitely good to get people what they want, but yeah, it's definitely the the thing I participate in the least of these, probably. Other than maybe physical touch as well, but yeah, and then words of affirmation. So this is definitely like commenting on videos and stuff. And some people do this a lot more than others. And some people just watch a lot more Booktube than others and are like very supportive, and some people just they don't like go out of their way to say to watch everyone's videos or do things like that, which is fine, of course, but yeah, it's definitely a way to show like appreciation for like the booktubers you like, or your friends or whatever. Yeah, so Joanna's definitely the queen of giving comments on booktube videos, so that's why I had to tell her about my theory.
That's so sweet. Thank you. I think, and again, my mother comes to my mind because I don't know if I ever read you. My mother, she leaves me, she doesn't comment on my videos and she batch watches my videos. I think she's like super behind right now. I don't think she's even watched a video I put out this year so far, but she has watched a lot of my videos. And when she does, she will leave me the longest, sweetest text message with so much detail, and she's so eloquent and thoughtful. And so I think I probably got that from her too. I think that's definitely the case. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Psychology is everything is from your parents,
It
basically.
really is. I mean, I have to say, I think that a lot of it probably is.
Yeah.
Now, my dad is not one of many words.
Mm.
He doesn't talk a lot, but he definitely shows his affection through um, quality time, I would say, through his presence, and he gives great hugs, that kind of thing. So,
Mm.
but yeah, but as far as words of affirmation, I definitely think that's an important one to me. Is that important to you?
Yeah, I definitely like positive reinforcement and stuff, and I and it's definitely more genuine when people engage and say like, "Oh, I agree with this and I don't agree with this," because then when they do say something like positive, it makes it more genuine to me. So like definitely words of affirmation are great, and like shout outs and stuff on booktube. I like Grace gave me like a very nice shout out.
Shout outs. Yes,
Yes.
shout outs are definitely words of affirmation. 100%. Yes.
Yes. Those are also acts of service as well, because they can kind of like help you grow your channel and like, I don't know, grow your audience if that's something that's important to you.
Or retweeting a video on
Retweeting.
Twitter.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't do that all the time. I'm kind of terrible about it, but I do try to now and then remember to do that. And I think that can go a long way. So sharing your videos with other people or shouting, but the shout out is definitely a big one for sure.
Yes.
What was the next one?
Let's see. I forget all my things. Quality time. Oh, this is some quality time, Johanna. Booktube
Yes. So
collaborations.
live sprints would be an one, two, in addition to discussions. A lot of people are getting into the discussion thing nowadays. Have you noticed that? Like a lot of
Yes.
people are doing that. So,
Yeah, you
which
and
is really cool.
Jimmy and talking
Yeah.
about and he does like weekly things, I think.
The chatting with nuts. Yes.
Yes.
I've been on a lot of Jimmy's chats and they've been fantastic. It's been so wonderful. And I feel, yeah, I definitely feel much closer to Jimmy after spending hours and hours and hours talking to him, talking with him about Malazan and other things. So yeah, the quality time goes a long, long way.
Yep. Yep. There it makes the content impossible to catch up on though, I think, for me at
Yeah.
least.
Unless you watch it live.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Yep. That's some good quality time as well. Uh,
Yeah.
being in chat. Um
Oh, yeah, that is for sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like killing two birds with one stone in a way because you could add words of affirmation at the same
yeah.
time as you're spending quality time. Yeah. So gift giving would be the book wish list we talked about, quality time, spending time in live chats, words of affirmation, comments, and what's another one? I have
Um
two more.
yeah, let's see. Acts of service is shout outs.
Oh, that's acts of
Yeah.
service or
Yeah.
shout outs.
It's like half
Okay.
shout outs, half words of affirmation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then physical touch is the weirdest one. You mentioned book smelling for like Leslie and
I
stuff,
don't,
which was
that probably doesn't
hilarious.
count, but the first idea that came to my mind was how Leslie would smell her books,
Yes.
from the nerdy narrative.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's a hard one. I know in real life, when I was younger, I used to just love like hugging friends. I'd see them and I'd be like, I was a big hugger back in the
Yes.
day. Um, definitely not the case now with social distancing, uh, but yeah, I was always a big, big hugger. And yeah, that's harder to do though, of
Yeah.
course, when
Yep.
it comes to booktube. I think that's impossible. That's the one thing where we all will fail.
Hmm.
So we have to make up for it with the other four, I guess.
Yes. Yep. But we could still do meetups and stuff, which is cool. I've definitely met some booktube friends in real life in the Northeast, which has been fun. Um, I've met Evie and Kate in real life, so that
That's exciting. That's
yes.
very cool. Yeah.
Have
Yeah,
you?
it's too bad because I actually do. I live but not too far from a couple of booktubers I know of,
Mm,
but I don't know. I haven't gotten around to meeting up with any of them, which is a shame. But maybe it'll happen at some point. I know that there are some that I definitely want to meet in real life, and I hope that can happen. So
yes.
we'll see.
Yeah, I definitely want to as well, and sometimes I'm like more of an introverted person, but I do like when I actually go out and talk to people in real life, I'm like always happy that I did. So I've got to, push myself to do like real
Yeah,
life
are you one of
meetups.
those people that it's like hard to get you out the door, but then once you're out the door, you're glad you went out?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I'm that way too.
Yep. I think like a lot of us readers and booktubers are like that, probably.
Probably true. I don't think it used to be as much the case for me, but nowadays, yeah,
Hmm.
it's definitely the case. And I used to be a big time coffee shop hopper. That was my thing, especially when I was much younger. I would do a lot of work in coffee shops. And for me, I thought that was a wonderful way to get to know people because it just felt more casual. Like people can come and go as they please.
Hmm.
I don't know, it's such a relaxed environment. Plus, if you're holding a cup of coffee, it's a good way to hold something that's warm in your hands. If you're somebody who's anxious like me, I always want to do something with my hands. So, holding a warm cup of something, tea or coffee, would just always feel very calming. And you could have a quality time, you could talk. So, it's always like that was always my favorite way of getting to know somebody was just sharing a cup of coffee or tea with them.
Yeah. Yep. That's great. you're a morning person. That like coffee shops are like bars, but for morning people, I think.
It's totally the truth. Yes, that's true. Yeah, I've been struggling getting up early as I used to, but yes, that's definitely true. And that definitely helps for me because I'm not a night owl. So coffee shops are the way to go for me.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Well, that is basically everything.
That's it. Yeah. So, people, if it's Valentine's Day, make sure that you check in with these love languages. If not with your significant other, then to your favorite booktubers.
Yep.
Make sure to show them some love. They will appreciate it.
Yes. Yep. Let me know what you think of my theory in the comments below. Am I crazy? Am I like wearing a tinfoil hat? Or is my theory like, should I write a book about this and sell millions of copies? I need to know before I start writing.
And actually, that would be interesting if somebody did rewrite. In all seriousness, it would be interesting to rewrite a book like this. I know this type of book is specifically for romantic relationships, but I think it actually is useful for all types of relationships, like even family relationships or friendships, if you even work relationships, if you understand, oh, that person just has a different way of, like some people, they want to go up and shake your hand and that other person is not into it. I don't
Yes,
know.
definitely. Um,
There are different ways of just understanding how people want to relate to one another. And it would be interesting if somebody did rewrite this book at some point. Um, and talked about how to get around that last step of physical touch, which we can't really do. That is a hard thing, by the way, because I was just interacting actually with a bunch of people not too long ago. And yeah, it was weird because COVID cases were kind of high and there was a desire to reach out and shake hands when you're meeting somebody. It's just a natural thing, which I guess we could all just wash our hands, but it did feel a little awkward and kind of weird to do that at the same
yes.
time. So I don't know.
Yeah, people are more like I don't think anyone's like reached out to shake my hand in months that I can remember, but that used to be like a way more common thing. And like I don't reach out to shake people's hands now either, so it's it's definitely something that I don't encounter.
I guess we're all changing in that regard, which is interesting. So
Yes. Yep.
yeah.
Um but yes, thank you for joining me. This was fun.
Thanks for having me, Gregory. This was fun.
Yep. We'll have to do this again soon. We're reading more Discworld, so that'll be more opportunity for quality time slash
Yes.
acts of service or whatever we're doing.
Yes. Absolutely. We need to figure out when we're going to read that next one. Very excited for it though. Should be fun.
Yep. But yes, thanks for joining me. Everyone go subscribe to Johanna. I'll leave her
Thank you.
channel in the description. And yeah, support your favorite booktubers. And happy
Happy
Valentine's.
Valentine's Day.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.